Good afternoon and thanks for joining us right here on Midday Kentucky on what is a nice cool Monday.
I'm enjoying this.
Larkin, welcome back, boo.
Hi, I'm so glad to be back.
Where have you been?
Rested. I have been to Denver, San Jose, and LA, Santa Monica.
Why have you been traveling around the globe?
Just for fun. So listen, Robbie and I, when we first got married, we promised each other we would take an anniversary trip every year. So every September we always take a trip. So this is our trip.
Okay,
yeah,
nice.
It was fun.
So does that mean you've only been married 2 years, did you say?
Just two, but it feels like 22.
But how long were you together before that?
2 years.
You don't really mean that, 22 years.
No, I do. No. We say it all the time. Like, we'll look at each other and be like, are you sure?
But weren't you meeting someone famous while you were away?
Yes, we met Jennifer Aniston. She was a doll. She asked if we were married. She looked at Robbie. She said, are y'all married? He's like, it's because she wanted me. That's what it was.
Oh, really?
Yes. I'm like, no, I don't think that's what it was.
Oh, okay, Robbie. Good one, my friend.
Yeah.
It was a nice weekend. Everything was perfect until Sunday when it poured down with rain.
Poured the rain.
But we needed it. I think like 6.5 inches of rain.
Insane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Where was it? Mount Sterling. There are a few other. Moorhead was on a 2-hour delay because of flooding.
For school?
Yes.
Oh,
today.
wow.
Isn't that crazy?
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Guess it really did.
All right, you ready for the show?
I'm ready.
We have to talk about this, everyone. It's a story that's sweeping across the nation. Reports say Serena Williams was fined $17,000 for code violation during the US Open. Now, this happened on Saturday night. She was fined $4,000 for a coaching warning, which was actually happening, $3,000 for smashing her racket, and $10,000 for verbal abuse. Good Lord, if I
know.
do you know how many times I let my tongue rip?
I'd
be broke by now. The fine will be deducted from her winnings of $1.85 million as the runner-up of the US Open. Now, of course, she also lost to a 20-year-old opponent that she had there. Now, here's the question. She was saying that this was a sexist call. I don't believe she cheated. I want to get that out there.
Okay.
I think the coach was saying that more and more coaches are doing this I'm not quite sure what that meant in the actual sport.
Okay.
But he's saying more and more coaches are doing that. But she also said that she didn't see him do that.
You know, and it's funny because after I watched this whole thing play out live, and afterwards, Naomi Osaka's coach, even in the interview, said, we all do it. We all coach from the sidelines.
Yeah.
It's not anything that
it is not allowed.
It's not allowed,
it's
right. But I was really proud of him for saying, you know, I was kind of coaching.
Well, he owned up.
Yeah, he owned up and said
he's on
that
tape.
We all do it.
Yeah.
So to me, it was a sexist thing. It was the craziest thing I've ever watched.
How was it sexist? I want to ask that.
Because people like Andy Roddick, I mean, there are men tennis players that do a lot worse, say a lot worse, act a lot worse, and they don't get these violations. And I do think that in the past, like Andy Roddick, I think was the one who tweeted it, that he has done this. And he said, I admittedly have done worse things than this and not ever been I never cost myself a game. I mean, they took an entire match from her. That's huge. Without warning, without any kind of, hey, if you do this one more time, you're losing this game for your third violation.
Really?
So, yeah, it was pretty crazy.
Okay. Well, I didn't watch it play out live.
Yeah.
I forgot that it was on. How bad of me. But I was watching it all on social media when it all sort of flared up. And I'm like, what is happening?
And you know what? I forgot who the tennis player was, but there was another female tennis player that said, you know, when women get angry, they get hysterical. And that is true. Like when I get angry, when I get boiling mad, ask Ravi, I get like tears in my eyes and my blood starts to boil. And I think that's what started to happen to her. So her level of her voice started to escalate, but she never even said a swear word.
Yeah.
I mean, she was very respectful to a degree, but I think it's because her anger presented differently than a male.
I also think she's had a really tough comeback.
I do too.
This last year.
Baby,
she's had a tough run. Since she had the baby, she's been struggling quite a bit. It's been tough. She didn't get through in Wimbledon. And, you know, it's been emotional, and I think this was her chance of. She may have won, but I also think, did it happen in the first game or the second game? Second. So she'd already lost the first one by 6.
She'd already lost 6-2 or
6-2 or something. Then it was 6-4.
And now that's the second part of this whole story that I hate. I hate that the spotlight has been taken from Naomi Osaka.
Yeah.
I hate that for her. She's young. It's her first Open win. And she stood up there and cried on stage. I hated that for her. It's just a bad situation.
All right, tell us what you think. Tell us whether you think it is a sexual
sexist type
sexist, sexuality issue. You know, I just think, oh my gosh, it's all getting so muddy nowadays.
I would agree.
It's all very muddy. You don't know what's going on. All right, if you're looking for another alternative, oh, this is hysterical, alternative to milk this morning, why not try camel's milk? While goat's milk can taste gamey, apparently camel's milk is smoother and much saltier. It also has 5 times more vitamin C and 10 times more iron than cow's milk. 1 cup has 107 calories and 42 grams of fat. So if you decide to switch due to dairy intolerances or allergies, just remember to make sure the camel's milk is pasteurized. Well, it's not as if I'm going to get a camel from out the back and milk it. Do you know what I mean?
Wait.
Where do you buy camel's milk from?
Oh my gosh, that's exactly, when I was reading this morning, I'm like, wait, camels aren't just walking around the wild everywhere. Where do you get camel's milk?
I don't know, people.
It has to be expensive, too.
I don't know. Is it expensive?
I mean, it has to be, because they're so rare, I would imagine. It's like few and far between.
They must use the camel's milk in Egypt. Trust me, I'm pretty sure they would.
I'm sure they would. Now, would you drink it? Would you do it?
I don't know. I think if I tried it, see, I always thought I wouldn't have almond milk. I now drink almond milk every day.
True.
I never thought I would have, I think I tried coconut milk with my producer. I'm just trying to remember. In my coffee.
Okay.
I think that's what it was. It was interesting.
Yeah.
I didn't hate it. I just thought, oh, it tastes like when I first tried almond milk.
Yes.
You know?
See, yeah.
I was a little on the show. I don't know about camel's milk, people.
I don't know. It's just something about it just weirds me out.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Tell us what you think. Alrighty, which is considered healthier, marijuana or alcohol? Now, keep in mind, this study is based on averages, and it is not the same for everyone. Now, apparently, weed came out on top. You ready for that? According to this article, now we want to tell you some of the reasons why. Tell us, my friend.
Okay. First, more than 30,000 Americans died from alcohol-induced causes in 2014, which is a huge number of people.
Okay.
Yes, there have been 0 documented deaths from marijuana use alone.
Really?
Interesting.
Well, I think alcohol is more addictive.
Definitely.
I can see that growing up with an alcoholic mother. I sort of understand that. Number 3 is alcohol is strongly linked with several types of cancer. Marijuana is not.
And number 4, both drugs may be linked with risks while driving, but alcohol is worse.
Really?
Yes. It impairs your vision and all of that, your equilibrium.
Well, I was thinking marijuana did that too.
Nah.
Oh.
It just slows you down.
But it doesn't it make you so relaxed you can't focus? Well, I'm going to tell you a story after this.
Okay, I can't wait.
Both may be linked to, okay, we got that one as well. Alcohol triggers weight gain. Well, I think marijuana does too, doesn't it?
The munchies.
Or is that just an old wives' tale?
Okay, I don't know. Tell me the story. I'm dying to hear this.
Okay. Well, you know I went away last Christmas.
Yes.
And I went to see a friend of mine in... it goes with this story. Let me tell you this story first.
Okay.
All right. Marijuana use is on the rise among the baby boomer generation. A study found people found in this age group that are marijuana users doubled from 2006. Now, about 9% of adults between 50 and 64 years of age said they used marijuana over the last year, and 55% of those adults said they've tried it at least once in their lives. Now, the study claims that marijuana is becoming more common in older people, and those users are at a high risk for other drug use. It was really interesting to watch and look at all the comments in this story. I think the story is, and the gist of the comments was, people are just more comfortable saying that they've tried it.
I think you're right. It's not quite as taboo as it used to be.
It's not quite as taboo.
I would agree.
And that's the truth.
I would 100% agree.
Yeah. I just think... my best friend, he's like my brother.
Yeah.
He suffers from rheumatoid arthritis, you know, and he's like 35 or 6. And he has always, as long as I've known him, smoked marijuana. All right. But I didn't know that he no longer smoked it because he was saying that it was getting bad. And so now he cooks. What he does is he makes butter. What he does is he puts the marijuana leaves in this butter and cooks it and then drains it, blah, blah, blah. But then he cooks with it.
Yes.
It's a more of a self-releasing, I don't know. Well, anyway, he was at work. He called me and he said, I'm going to come back and have a cup of coffee with you, blah, blah, blah. Before he's in TV as well. I said, fine. So I get the biscuits out and the coffee and I make it. Well, I have one of these bloody biscuits.
That's what you were going to say.
I had no idea. This was just at Christmas time, but I was off my face for 2 days.
I am rolling.
I wanted to kill him.
Oh, my.
Because when he comes home and he says to me, Troy, where did you get them?
Oh,
and I said, they're in the kitchen, in the cupboard. They're fabulous. Anyway, I'm ravenous. It was so embarrassing. I made a fool of myself.
But it's great. And you know what the greatest thing is like you do it and then you're just probably milling around the kitchen and it takes some time for it to hit in. And then
it didn't quite click what was wrong with me.
Yes, like you're like something's
I thought it was the altitude.
No, it's just the butter.
It's just the butter.
On the
I was very careful from that time on, let me tell you. Tell us what you think. Head over to Midday Kentucky's Facebook page. 2 interesting stories there about marijuana. And I know that the second one, people were talking more about using gummies and chocolate and things that you can buy in California. And now so many states now are legalizing marijuana. I think you're going to see more of a conversation happening. And I think it's going to become... I don't think it should be in the workplace. I don't think you should be able to be stoned at work or taking gummies at work, or I don't think anything like that. But I think if you're in your own home and it's legal, I'm not the law.
I know. I think you're right. And I think, I just went to Denver. It's legal there in Colorado and in California.
Yeah.
And people are responsible with it. I think it's more of an educational thing. People just need to know how to use it. They need to understand there's a ton of medicinal benefits from it.
That I'm learning a lot about, and I understand that.
Even just CBD.
And I understand with my buddy.
Yes.
He says it's much better for him than doing the injections. And I get it.
All
Alrighty, everyone. Last week, one frustrated father in North Carolina posted a short Facebook rant about proper dropping off etiquette, which has since gone viral. Now, he was trying to drop off his kid at school, and here's his reaction to the total experience. This is for you, Larkin.
This is hilarious.
All right, if you have to bathe or dress your kid, comb their hair, scramble them an egg and write them a send-off letter before they can exit the car, you do not belong in the school drop-off line. Only people who raise their kids to jump out of the car with backpacks loaded like they are storming the beaches of Normandy while the car is at low roll are allowed in the drop-off line. I will be giving stinky eye warnings today, but tomorrow I'm issuing citations.
I agree.
Really?
Yes. Do you know how frustrating it is when I'm dropping off Braylon in school and we have literally been in the carpool line for 10 minutes. It's wound all the way behind the building.
But why can't you just drop him off outside the building?
Because that's just not how they do it. Let me just tell you, it's quite the circus. But we'll get up there and then I'll watch some mom get out and help her kid. I'm like, are you serious? You've been in this line for 10 minutes and y'all are still getting dressed back here and I'm up here at the door and I can't let Braylon out till you scoot on?
Really?
It's so frustrating, yes.
Is there a certain space that you have to park where you have to stop to then let them out?
Yeah, like at Braylon's elementary school, there was a little crosswalk, so there were about 5 cars ahead of you, so you only got about 5 cars that could drop off kids before you got caught by that stop walk and they
I know it's a safety thing, and I get that.
Yeah,
I get that.
It is.
But I think this father, this must have been one of his first times having to drop off the kids. So he was completely annoyed. We'd love to hear your stories and tell us whether your husband in your life has ever dropped off the kids and had issues as well.
Yes.
Alrighty.